right, all right. I am so excited today. Oh man, we got a special episode for you guys. This is Black Half Blind Billionaire, of course, and I'm your host, Mark Rich. And I just want to introduce in a way that you guys know what we have in front of us. This young lady that I'm about to introduce to you guys. I'm not going to give the whole brief rundown because I want her to help me out with that, right? But she became a doctor at a very young age, right? She is a millennial, right?
Yes.
She laughing because I asked her that right before we started. But she got an undergrad up in the city, and she went to medical school in Albany. Like I said, I'm gonna let her do the details. And she did a residency in Chicago. But without further ado, I'm going to bring her on before I mess anything up. My sister from another mister, Dr. Breanna Joyner. Let's give it up.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm happy you was able to bless this podcast.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that. Doctor, medical doctor. What made you? Because, you know, kids when they're young, right, they want to be a fireman, an astronaut, or a doctor.
Yep.
You wanted to be a doctor. What made you want to be a doctor, first off?
In the beginning, it was my biological dad. A month before my 11th birthday, we got a call that my dad had an accident. Okay. He was a long-haul truck driver. And at the time, he was hauling a delivery in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He was getting out of his truck, fell, hit his head. He ended up suffering a hemorrhagic stroke. And what that is essentially when you hit your head, you fracture your skull, you bleed internally in the brain. So
I never knew that. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So we drove up to Drexel, and he was in the ICU.
Drexel Hospital.
Exactly.
Okay.
And at 10, you know, you're like, and then unfortunately he did pass away. At 10, you say to yourself, I can't let this happen again. Wow. I want to save the world. Right? So there was, you know, the passion there and a little bit of naivety. Just, you know, at 10, I wanted to save the world. So that's initially what sparked the desire to go into medicine. Nice.
You know, what's crazy about that, guys, and, you know, I knew this young lady for quite a while. I was actually there when you became a doctor. We celebrated her.
Yep.
And I never knew that story. You know, that's the same way my wife's mother died from a brain hemorrhage.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to be a doctor. All right. And I went over it brief, but how did you become a doctor? For the people that's watching going, I want to be a doctor.
Right.
How did you become a doctor? What did Dr. Joyner do?
So I did a very non-traditional route. So the typical or traditional route would be you go to college,
right.
You go to medical school, you go to residency.
Okay.
My route was different in the sense that my undergrad was a combined 5-year BSMD. So City College at the time offered a program through Sophie Davis.
Sophie Davis, okay.
Yep, and what it was is 5 years total. 3 of the years is undergrad. The last 2 years are your first years in medical school.
Oh, wow. Is that still available? That sounds great.
So it is, but it's under the guise now under CUNY Med. So Sophie Davis is no longer, but it's its own medical school now.
Okay. Okay. So you went to City College for 3 years, then you went up to Albany for Sophie Davis for your 2 years medical school.
No.
Come on.
So Sophie Davis is at City College.
Okay. So you was in Albany, no?
Albany was the last 2 years of med school.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it. Yep. Okay. So now you do that because I remember the journey, but I didn't remember the details. You know what I'm saying? Talking to your mother,
a lot of
I
details.
remember the details.
Exactly.
Now this is what I didn't know, and I'm gonna let you break in there and tell me because I didn't know this. This is true for doctors and pharmacists. Once you do go through med school, you have to be selected, right? By whatever hospital entity that wants you to be a resident there, right?
Correct.
Explain that.
Yeah. So it's called a match system. So essentially, you do a ranking or a listing. So let's say my top 3 schools are NYU, Harvard, and Yale.
Okay.
Right. So I would rank those 3 schools, NYU, Harvard, Yale, based on whatever, and then those schools would rank me amongst all the other applicants. And there's this computed system that says, okay, based on my ranking and the school's ranking, where do I fall? And they say to the system, we only want, let's say, 60 candidates. So it's essentially a computed system, but they take into account things such as your resume, what you've done in the past. So it never ends. That was the same thing for medical school and residency. We had to do a match system.
Oh, okay. So that I'm clear, because I want to make it clear for everybody else, and then we're going to get into the juicy questions, right? Because I got a couple of juicy questions coming up, but I want to be clear because you're saying you got to be selected twice. You got to be selected for medical school, and then you got to be selected to do the residency.
Yes.
Residency is
Residency, you got it.
When you work with the doctors, like when you're in the hospital, like I've been through my shit 4 years ago when I was almost out of here, and I remember sitting there and the doctor come with a whole bunch of other people buying them and go, yeah, they're helping me, but I know what they're doing. They're learning the deal. That's the residency. You got to be selected for both.
Yes.
Okay. So you was that pain in the neck that was in the hospital with the doctor, and they going, yeah, this is Dr. Joyner. Hi, oh yeah, your blood pressure's high.
Yes. I was a part of that group. Exactly.
But everybody does it.
Everyone does it.
And the reason why I love that is because, and we was just talking about this earlier, when you want to do something, you gotta get experience in doing it first, right? You can't just open up a McDonald's. You got to work in a McDonald's for a year. I don't care how much money you have.
Exactly.
All right, so I love that part. Now, I want to get to a juicy question.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, so now you're a full-fledged doctor. Dr. Breanna Joyner. You can see her for the next couple of weeks at least, right? We're going to get into that in the 6th borough in Far Rock right now. And I don't know if you want to tell where you're at now.
Oh, we'll hold off on that for now.
We'll hold off. All right. I want to ask this question.
Sure.
I'm a kidney transplant patient, and so after a few years, it's been a while since I had it. We get checked by the doctor periodically. For me, it's twice a year, right? And I'm talking to my kidney doctor, and she says, "Well, you should do this." And I said, "Well, why didn't my other doctor tell me that?" And she said, plain as day, she said, America makes a lot of money off the medical industry. So my question to you is, and I know you know this already, but I'm going to say it anyway out loud. America's the only country that doesn't have, out of all the countries in the world, they don't have a universal healthcare system. Do you think America is flawed by not having one?
Yeah, great question. That's a twofold answer.
Okay.
And I say that because it depends on where your priorities are.
Okay.
Right. So on one hand, we think about things like access, equity, we think about cost.
Right.
On the other hand, or from a different perspective, they would think about things like freedom of choice. My personal opinion, I'll interject my personal opinion, I fall on the former. Right. So it's important to me that patients have access.
Right.
They have equity, and I care about the cost, right? The reason I say that is because, yes, like you said earlier, I am currently practicing, and I've practiced in 2 different systems. A system where everyone is seen regardless if you have insurance or not.
Right.
And I've practiced where if you don't have insurance, we turn you away, right? The issue with that is, let's say, for example, we're dealing with someone with type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
They come into the office.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They come into the office and they don't know it, but their sugar is 600s.
Ouch.
We turn them away. You go back home. You end up in diabetic ketoacidosis. Essentially, you'll probably die.
But doesn't that sounds illegal, right? Doesn't that sound illegal? Like you turn about 600?
It's crazy. But you have to remember what this country was founded upon. It's founded upon capitalism. So I agree with you. Yes, the system is flawed in the sense that we live in the country that spends the most per capita when it comes to healthcare, but yet we always fall short when it comes to outcomes. Why are we having babies still die? Why are Black women still dying at a higher rate in maternity wards?
Everybody. That's another one. Yeah.
Right. So, yes, in my opinion, it is flawed. But you might ask someone who's politically driven, they'll say no, or even financially driven, they may say no. I want the right to choose my doctor. Right. I want to be able to see someone at NYU in some swanky office in Manhattan.
Right.
Or, but for me personally, I think the system is flawed because it's not fair to that woman in Far Rockaway whose blood sugar was 600 and they were turned away.
But see, that's the thing. And I know what you're saying. It's freedom of choice, right? And I'm telling you, we're gonna get into some good stuff here. Freedom of choice. Yeah, I get that part. But if I'm hurt, if I was in an accident, I don't care who's the doctor. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just take care of me. Don't have me filling out something. My arm is hanging off. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
I get what you're saying. Freedom of choice. I get that part. But there's that other part, right, where the colleges are so exuberant as far as how much it costs. We had a baby late in life. We were both in our 40s. And the doctor was our age. And he was still paying off his college loans.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, Obama was the president. And he said, if this thing goes through fully, I might have to go somewhere else. So I get what you're saying. It's flawed, but it's good as freedom of choice. But I think, and I know the saying, if you don't have the solution, you're part of the problem. So maybe I am part of the problem because I don't have the solution. But I know that we need to change our diet, right? Would you say?
100%, definitely. That's a part of it.
I want to tell a story, and then I want you to expound upon it, because this is not one of the questions, so I'm just going to say it off the cuff. I was in an Uber, and the Uber driver was Italian. And I said to him, is there any White Castles? We happened to drive by a White Castle. Is there any White Castles in Italy? He said, I don't know of any. He said, there's certain food that we don't let anyone eat in Italy. And I said, why? Because they care about you? He started laughing. He said, no, because it's universal health. So the government has to pay for it.
Exactly.
So they want to make sure everybody's healthy.
Exactly.
So you're not going to find fried cheese doodles. You're not going to find Skittles. You're not going to find White Castle in any other country. All right.
The U.S. profits off of people being sick. I mean, let's be honest. Insurance is not for people that are healthy.
That's right.
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 For example, someone 25 years old or even 35,
right,
healthy, no chronic illnesses, they go to the doctor once a year for an annual checkup.
Right.
That doesn't pay or drive America's capitalism. What drives America's capitalism is when you're sick.
Eating that Popeyes.
Or White Castle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a money thing. And healthcare is big business, if we're being honest. Even as a medical doctor, what are the foundations of what I'm taught? It's medicines, right? It's teaching how do we treat this condition with medications. But it takes someone to think outside of the box to say, maybe everything doesn't need to be treated with a medication. Well, in medical school, that's what we're taught. To treat diabetes, you treat it with metformin, insulin, etc.
Right.
But let's be honest, one of the best ways to treat diabetes is with changing your diet.
Yeah.
But do we have nutrition classes in medical school?
No.
Exactly.
That was a jewel right there. I think she's smarter than me, guys. I'm not even sure, but I think she's smarter than me. And as far as White House and Popeyes goes, the opinion of this show is purely my opinion. It has nothing to do with the Black Hairline Billionaire. All right, so we're gonna go to a break, guys. Like I said, I'm excited. We're gonna get deep, and I got a couple of nice ones coming up, a couple of nice questions coming up for my sister from another Mr. Dr. Breanna Joyner. All right, we'll see you in 5. All right, while we have this break, I want to talk about my people over there through rose-colored lenses. right? TC through Rose, TRCL. Sorry about that. You could reach out to Geraldine Braswell. Please don't ask me to spell her name. I just call her my sister. But reach out to her at 631-972-5581 for all your non-profit needs. If you need a birthday done, she's great. Trust me, I've done stuff with her already. And she's good at collaborating with people. She just wants to give back. Again, that's 631-972-5581 through rose-colored lenses. My sister from another mister, Geraldine Braswell. She'll be happy to take your call. All right. We are back from our break. Sitting here chopping it up. You know, it might look like I got tears in my eye, but, you know, it was pollen. You know what I mean? We was chopping it up in here, right?
Yes, indeed. all love.
All right. So now, look, I want to get into a crazy question. This is going to be a crazy one because it's kind of compound.
Okay.
Y'all remember English compound? There it is. All right. I want to know this. Now that you're a doctor and you know health is wealth, right?
Absolutely.
Like as I was growing up, I'm chasing the dollar. It got me out of projects, got me my own home, great. But I put aside health. You know, I got to get to work. I got to do extra time. So let me just grab something real quick.
Right.
But I know that I shouldn't have did that. I should have put health a little bit more in the forefront. Because when you're young, you want to be rich. When you're older, you want to be healthy.
Absolutely.
What does Dr. Joyner tell her 8-year-old self, her 12-year-old self, her 18-year-old self about staying healthy?
Yeah. Good question. Before the age of 10 or 11, I tell myself it's going to be okay. And I know that sounds like, well, why are you saying that in terms of health, right? So to all of my patients, I always tell them my big 4 in terms of staying healthy. It's eating well, staying physically active, getting sleep, and keeping stress levels low, right? So that stress for me would have played a role when I was younger, which I know sounds absurd. What are you stressed about? Right, but when you lose a parent, I would tell her it'd be okay, right? 18-year-old self, I tell her, keep going and go as hard as you can. But at that point, I would tell her, you might want to consider start eating a little bit healthier. Why? Because it was around 2021 when I found out things like my family history, such as heart disease.
Okay.
Right? And then I went to the doctor so I could know where my blood work and levels were. And I had high cholesterol at that point, at 18. And people look at me and they say, well, you're thin, you're fine, you don't need to work out. That's a lie, right? We're not working out purely for aesthetics or to lose weight. You're working out to work out your heart, to keep your heart healthy.
Get on that bike,
right? So I tell myself that at any age, be physically fit.
Right, because, and it's great that you said that because every skinny person is not healthy.
Not at all.
And every fat person is not out of shape.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's true.
Because when I was a diabetic, I was slim.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so your diet is
it's
all
healthy.
peaches and cream, egg whites, and making sure.
Not at all. Not at all. It's balanced.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I have some days that I'm very healthy and balanced, I would say. Right. So I'm getting more fiber and more protein.
Right.
But then there are days when I carb load. Right. But and that's okay. Because no day is going to be perfect. Right. But what you don't want are those sharp declines and inclines where 3 months out of the year, you're just eating McDonald's straight. And then 1 month you're eating healthy.
You ain't gonna make it to that 4th month.
Right? So,
right.
Balance, right? Those small jumps and declines.
Yeah. I literally don't eat fast food. Period. I just cut it out. You know, I've done enough. You know, I'm 57. I've done enough, right? If I'm going to have a couple of 20 more summers to go at least,
absolutely.
You know, that's it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't need it. You know what I mean? And I realize, especially where it comes from, I don't think I want it anyway. But the views and opinions of this show, strictly mine. But Okay, so you stay active, right? Even at a young age, you're still fairly young. So you stay active and you don't go crazy,
Absolutely.
right? Because I try to cut all carbs out, and I know that's not good either. So
No.
I got to have something,
Yes.
but a very little, for me as a diabetic,
Right.
type 2 diabetic.
Your body still needs something to fuel off of, right?
Right. And I get that part. So with you, you just keep it balanced and be aware to stay active.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. We're going to get into how you cheated on me. That's right. I know you saying, wait a minute, you too old for how yeah, she cheated on me.
Oh my gosh.
So we want to know.
The people want to know.
The people want to know. You know what I mean? What's next? Because I hear there's some good news. Let's talk about that jumping over the broom coming. Come on.
Yes. So I am getting married next year.
Let's give it up.
I'm extremely excited. He's an amazing man. His name is Marvin.
Okay.
We actually met online.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of people meeting that way.
I tell you, us younger millennials, yes.
Right.
But I am excited for our journey ahead.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Because Marvin is a derivative of the name Mark.
Of course you would.
Us light-skinned did it. I'm dark-skinned did it. All right. So Marvin, you met him online. Y'all hit it off.
Yes.
I love that. I'm so happy. Let me tell you something about Black love. It's nothing better than that. I'm sorry. I might sound, it's not with the times. I'm sounding like I'm stepping over a line. I'm sorry.
I agree.
There's nothing wrong with Black love.
I agree.
Especially in the days we're at now, right? Now is not the time to fight against each other. So he's in NY?
No, he's currently in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Shout out to the 203 brothers.
Yes,
The 203 brothers.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you going to move there? He going to move here? Y'all.
Correct.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want it.
That's okay. But yes, we will be moving together in the coming months, actually.
Ew.
Yes. With marriage, absolutely.
Hey, who has it better than her, guys? She's a doctor. She's about to get married.
Yes,
I need a book from you. You know that, right?
Listen, it'll happen.
All right, let's give it up. Let's give Dr. Breanna Joyner. So, as far as what's next, we already know what's next. Do you have anything else to add? Talk to me.
The one thing that I would say to everyone watching is you get one body. Take care of it. Treat your body as a temple. And for people that are young, old, it doesn't matter. You can always start, right? So get those annual checkups. You should go into your doctor's office with some questions. I always tell patients, at least my patients, this is not a patriarchal sort of relationship where you're coming in and I'm telling you what to do.
Right.
You should think of your doctor as someone that you collaborate with. And if that's not the case, then maybe, consider changing. So my parting words would simply just be health is wealth and take care of yourself.
Hey, look, I ain't going to say nothing over that. That hit it right on the head. Again, guys, I want to thank my sister from another, Mr. Dr. Breanna Joyner, for being a good sport. Let me mess with her and just congratulate her on all her endeavors. It's your time.
Thank you, Mark.
And I love you, your fiance, and your family, and I wish you all the best.
We love you too.
All right. At Black Half Blind Billionaire, we are going to sign off. And like I always say, to be continued. I love y'all. Be good.